Welcome back to Escape and Watch. Falling Titan here, and today thanking once again Kavar Jewelers for lending this watch into the channel. And if you want to buy this watch, email me in the description below and I'll give you a discount code. Yup, it is a limited edition ORIS, the DAT Watt, and a little bit excited about this one, number 351. There's the number. Typical ORIS packaging. We got books down here and the good stuff up here. And the big reveal. Whoo! Look at that. And here's the packaging. As you can see, DAT Watt limited edition 1 of 2009. And this image is deeply engraved on the case back. Beautiful. Now, why 2009 units? Because in the year 2009, the area that they are preserving, the Wadden Sea, was inscribed in the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and it was a World Heritage Site. So it is now protected. It's on the list. Okay, the box is off to the side. So introducing the ORIS Aquis DAT Watt Limited Edition. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. When I saw it, I was blown away. One of my favorite dials ever. And of course, my favorite ORIS Aquis. And very happy it's in the large size. Now, the Wadden Sea is the largest tidal system in the world. Over 5,000 species and 12,000 square kilometers. These mudflats are huge. Let's look at a photo. And they're gorgeous. So the mudflat in German dialect, I believe, is Watt, W-A-T-T. So that's the nickname DAT Watt for the Wadden Sea, because it's mudflats. And when the tide is low, you can see the mudflats. And when the tide is high, I believe it's just water. Haven't been there when there's high tide. Now, what makes this watch so cool is basically it is a moon and tidal pointer complication. Beautifully done, simple and elegant solution, and it looks very complex on the dial, but it's actually very simple to read. We're gonna go through it, and yeah, it's gorgeous. Isn't this watch unbelievable? So the case shape is the iconic kettle shape of the Aquis integrated bracelet design with those removable crown guards. You can see those 2 screws. Everything is brushed except for on top of the crown guards, the rim of the bezel, and on top of the lugs, which flows nicely into the design of the bracelet. A brand with a ton of history from 1904, Swiss-made, well-respected, independent, love ORIS. These are the measurements that I got. 43.3 in diameter, thickness of 13.3 with that double dome sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, a slight dome, no distortion, beautifully done, meets with the bezel insert perfectly, and a lug to lug 50 even. Okay, so I measured right here at the end of the lugs, which technically integrated bracelet looks like it's part of the bracelet. Beautiful. The bracelet is typical for ORIS. What does that mean? A positive impression of extreme quality. Their bracelets punch way above their price point, and they're absolutely phenomenal. Okay, solid end links, solid links, screwed links, milled clasp, and there's the signed ORIS logo. We do have 3 micro adjusts and a dive extension. All right, this is a diver, 300 meters of water resist. Now let's check out that case back. There you can see deeply engraved mud flats. All right, the DAT Watt, look at that. And you can see the moon right there on the top. Very nice. The limited edition number is also deeply engraved underneath the mud flats. Now the bezel and bezel insert, we have a beautifully brushed gray silver ceramic insert. Very tactile and clicky, 120 unidirectional, very nice. Oh, I missed it. There we go, everything lines up beautifully. Now the dial in hand, look at that gorgeous dial. Gray at the bottom, baby blue, fading into a darker blue, royal blue, aqua, everything. It has all the blues and it's just so beautiful how it fades from one color to the next very seamlessly. It's just so stunning in person. I hope my macros and my 4K footage is bringing to life this beautiful watch. This is the Aquis to get. So we do have a screw down crown with a clutch mechanism, very nice. And as you can see, there is a fourth hand, that little white arrow. That's gonna point to the full lunar cycle. 29.5 days for one complete cycle. At the top of the 12 o'clock, you can see an empty circle. That is the new moon. And at 6 o'clock, it is a solid circle. That is the full moon 15 days later. Okay, I set the date clockwise to the 23rd, which is today, counterclockwise for the moon phase. In 3 days, it's gonna be a full moon. So on the 15th. So we're gonna go to the 12th, right there. So now the arrow hand is pointing to the 12th. In 3 days, it's gonna be pointing to that full moon. So now the lunar complication is set. Now, how do you read the tide? Well, there is a peanut-shaped graph in between the moon phases, and where the arrow hand points and crosses between that peanut, that's the tide. So there's 3 circles, max, average, and min. So right now, this arrow is crossing where the peanut touches, 1 circle under maximum. So it's a high tide. 1 more circle down, it'll be average, and 2 more down, it's gonna be minimum tide, so low tide, and you're gonna see those beautiful mud flats. All right, so a little bit confusing maybe, but it's simple once you get used to it, once you get it in hand. Hopefully you guys understood that. Now the rest of the dial has those applied indices that remind me of robotic fingers, and of course that hour and minute hand that remind me of robotic hand. Now the price, $27.50 USD, a fair price for a Swiss-made professional dive watch from ORIS with a good cause behind it, donating a little bit of the proceeds to the heritage site, the Wade and See. So very nice. You can feel good about your purchase. Now let's compare it to an SKX. There she is, of course, bigger than the SKX, but I know everyone has an SKX, so just so you guys can kind of get a feel for how it will wear on your wrist. Now the integrated bracelet on the ORIS is definitely going to make it wear smaller. I have a 6.5 inch wrist and I love how the 43 wears on my wrist. I tried the 41.5, I tried the 39, and I thought the 41.5 would be perfect, but it wasn't. So if I were to buy an Aquis, it would be actually the 43, because look at this. This bold, strong look, it just goes well with a larger size, in my opinion. I've tried the smaller ones and they just felt dainty to me and they did not impress. I don't know why. Just my personal taste, guys. And I do love small watches. I do. I'm not against them, 100%. I prefer 38 to 40 all the time. But for some reason, I prefer the Aquis bigger. Okay, let's do the weight. All the links, 190 grams. So yep, it is a hefty one. It feels like a quality piece of kit in your hand, and man, this dial is just, it's so distracting. It's gorgeous. Let's check her out on the time grapher. ORIS caliber 761 based on Solida caliber SW220-1. 38 hours of power reserve, 26 joules, 4 hertz, hack Henwine automatic. And there you can hear that beautiful 28.8 medium beat. Now look at that powerful amplitude, 323 plus 6 seconds a day. We're gonna do 8 rounds in 2 positions to get a feel of how this will work on your wrist. And ooh, settling down now. We had 6, 6, now 1, 0.1 milliseconds in beat error, but that amplitude is crazy. ORIS regulating these 100%. Ooh, we just jumped to plus 4. And the final and 8th round, plus 4. Okay, let's do 12 down. We're gonna give it some time because we just flipped it and flopped it. Let's begin. 8 more rounds, so we had plus 4 dial up, and now we're gonna do 12 down. This is the position your watch is in the most. And ooh, plus 16, not a good start for the ORIS, but starting to settle down. Amplitude did dip, 314. Beat error stayed the same, very impressive. And yep, 11, 11. So 16, 11, 11, 11. 4 more rounds remaining. We had plus 4 dial up. Can we get a little bit closer to the dial up position? Ooh, looking a little stable. Amplitude still dipping, 305. And here we go. Amplitude dipping, and now the rate dipping, plus 10. And the 8th and final round, plus 10. So pretty good. Okay, there is the Lume shot. As you can see, there is a pip at 12 o'clock, and very strong, beautiful Swiss Superluminova. Has a nice blue glow to it. Very well done here. Impressive as usual from ORIS. Here it is in the half lighting. Gorgeous dial, unbelievably stunning me non-stop. Legibility still fantastic. Catches the light, the high polished indices and hands right there. You can see it catching. Beautiful facets on the tips of the indices. So legibility, very nice. And of course that dial, very stunning. Love the ORIS brand, love the Aquis line, love the heritage preservation of the wait and see. Love everything about this watch, as you can tell. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this watch. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.